So for simplicity's sake, we're going to be using the story from the last lesson of the mermaid who tries to get home and gets trapped in a net on her way. I'm going to show you how to board the first 15 to 20 seconds of the story. Once we're done, we will see the storyboard played back, kind of like a film. This will give us an idea of what a potential film would look like. Storyboarding is very important because it's what animators use as a reference for when they are actually animating. This is a storyboarding template. The rectangles you see represent the camera. They're perfectly sized to the standard screen ratio to keep everything contained perfectly. In each panel, we're going to draw a scene of the script. We don't actually have a written script for this story, but we fleshed it out enough to kind of fake our way through it. The first shot of this storyboard is the establishing shot. Establishing shots are used in many movies and shows as a starting scene. It's a long shot of the setting that helps the viewer get an understanding of where the story is taking place. Our story takes place underwater. So I did a very sketchy underwater scene. I drew some sand on the floor, I put in some seaweed, some fish swimming in the background, some waves here and there, just to make it clear that we're underwater and this is going to be where our film is taking place. One of the great things about storyboarding digitally is the ability to copy and paste images without having to draw them again and again. The next shot, I want to show our mermaid swimming through the same scene, so I copied the background from the first shot and moved the copy over to the second panel and added in the mermaid. Thinking about camera angles and making things flow, I decided to have a zoom shot so we are slowly brought into the character. I used arrows and a rectangle to show this visually. When the boards are done and edited, we will see the camera movements follow along with what we're seeing on the boards. Looking back at our story, the mermaid is swimming in the ocean when she realizes she wants to go home. This sequence is focused on only thought rather than dialogue. I decided to have a tighter shot on the mermaid so we can see the emotions on her face as she thinks about returning home. I copied and pasted 2 more images of her close up to show the change of emotions as she has her realization moment and thinks about her castle. After copying and pasting, it's very easy then to just go in and change certain elements of her face to show new emotion. So I put a little circle to show surprise or realization, and in the panel after, I just put her hand to her face and have the thought bubble of her home. I also used the same castle image from the 6-part story just to speed up the process. The next shot is a wide shot of the mermaid heading off on her journey. I thought it would be more interesting to show a back view of her swimming off, so you can get a cool view of her tail moving. If I were going into more detail with this, I would have first shown her face closer to the camera, then this back shot. That way, it would be more dynamic as her face passes closer to the camera, then swims away. The last 3 panels are when our conflict begins. There's an upward shot of the net coming down on our mermaid. The next shot is the mermaid looking shocked. This is close up to her so we can really see the emotion on her face. And the result, her being trapped in the net. I also reused the image from the 6-part story of her in the net just to make this faster as well. I go back in and add in some more direction lines here and there, but for the most part I'm done. What I do after this that we don't see on film is cut up these panels and put them into animatic form. An animatic is a storyboard panel played in sequence. You're going to see camera movements, some shots timed slower, others faster, as we get an understanding of the pacing of the film. Sound is often added to the animatic to get a better feel for what we are watching. So here it is, the final animatic for our mermaid tale.